Let's bring Save the Children South Africa CEO Gugu Xaba to weigh in on the safety of children in schools, how they can also be best protected. Gugu, good afternoon, and thank you for your time at the SABC at this hour.
Good afternoon, Liz, and good afternoon to the listeners.
Let's just look at what's coming to the fore this time round. I wonder if you could comment on the prevalence of such issues in South African schools as we speak. It also threatens the rights of children, their right to learn and dignity as well.
Save the Children South Africa empathizes with the situation that is happening in Limpopo now. And as we have always said, South Africa has shown that there is tolerance of violence when it happens, such that right now you are looking at about 1 in every 4 children in our schools that is violated one way or the other. That says our schools are less prepared for such situations, and there's almost no reporting, even of suspicion, because you'll find that at times there is suspicion of a predator that is within the school, even before the violence occurs. And the fact that as a country there is tolerance of violence, we do not report up to a time whereby the predator believes they can attempt a rape and they end up attempting it. And as you can see in Limpopo, the fact that one happened in 2021, which means this person waits until there's silence about the case, and then they can hit again. So it's important that we do not tolerate violence. And our schools right now need to go through safeguarding lessons in order to prevent violence from occurring and to ensure that there's quick response and ability to find the predator before they hit another child again.
Because the concerns on the back of what you've echoed looks at the role of law enforcement, perhaps from, the reporting the cases, and then also just the role of the Department of Education, given that in this instance, there were 2 previous accounts. The perpetrator is still on the loose, was able to come back. What concerns and gaps arise on that front?
Thanks, Liz. The concerns in this case are that a previous case occurred, investigations were done. We are not sure whether the police investigated within the school, because it's possible that the perpetrator is within the school, and then even before they go outside to investigate. And then the other thing, how alert is the school, or how sensitive is the school to any occurrence of a rape case? And that is why I was earlier on saying, how alert are we to the fact that anything can happen at any time? And what are the signs that are taught to children, to teachers, and to the management of the school? Because all these people should always be on the alert. And Save the Children wants to emphasize the fact that there's a need to be observant in all instances, because before a rape case occurs, there's a person that is showing the signs and symptoms of a predator who's always too friendly to children and taking them into toilets to a point that these children get used to him accompanying them to the doors. And eventually the person walks in with them, and yet just having a male adult accompanying a child is abnormal and should not be allowed. So very important to take note of the cases that are possibilities, and they must be reported. Then on a day-to-day basis, schools should talk about the possibility of an occurrence. Then after that, when the case has occurred, then there must be speedy response in order to ensure that it doesn't happen again. Of course, we must get to prosecution. It's said that the 2021 case was not prosecuted. Then that says we have a problem within the school and very close to the school. And we cannot even not indicate that the boys in the school need to also be educated, because yes, we want children to be accompanied to the toilets by a buddy who is close to them, who is a good support. But we also need boys to be educated on positive masculinity so that they become the eyes and ears of the girls and they can protect them too.
Questions about screening of teachers and vetting, or the caregivers obviously coming to the fore. Also just the capacity of educators at this point to look out for some of those abuse signs and report the matter. And then the reporting methods itself, questions about that coming to the fore, its efficacy at this point, and really how we begin to equip learners as well with the necessary workshops and tools to also assist them. What about the psychosocial support? Obviously the long-lasting effects that this has on those who obviously have been abused, but also those around them, just in terms of safety and security.
Thank you, Liz, for the question. Yes, I agree with you in terms of screening out all the people that are around children so that we eliminate the possibility of staying or keeping perpetrators. Then, in terms of psychosocial support, very important. It begins with the victim that is affected, including the family, the very close family, the other children that are around the child, including the other pupil in the school, whether it's a child or the teachers. This means, as a country, we need to have social workers. That's how it should be. Social workers need to be in the school setting to provide psychosocial support. After that, we need to refer the child to another psychosocial support practitioner who's going to give the individual counseling, plus the family must be provided with counseling in order for them to cope. And the counseling can be short-term, medium-term, and long-term, because the effects are not the same for every other child.